What's going on, guys? And welcome back to episode 24 for Kobe of the Staincast. Of course,
And
as you can see,
Mambasita too.
yes, sir, Mambasita too. I'm one of your co-hosts, Mr. Stephen E. With me, as always,
What's
DL.
going on, guys? What's going on, guys? Thank you guys for tuning in today. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone had can't speak. Happy and healthy New Year.
Yes, sir. And of course, as you guys can see, we have a guest with us, Mr. Smoke L. Get the fuck out of here, Siri.
Glad to be back, guys.
Fuck off.
Welcome back.
Been a whole year.
One moment.
Fuck off. All right. Sorry about that.
About?
Siri catching OD strays.
Jesus.
Well, she just fucking appeared on my laptop for some reason. Anyways, this week we are covering a much better movie than last week. We are covering Logan, probably, arguably, definitively the best X-Men movie.
Yeah. There's like one other movie, like Days of Future Past is the only one I could even see just because it has the X-Men in it as being the best X-Men movie, like in terms of like their whole story.
It's an ensemble.
But I'm talking about X-Men as in all
the
X-Men.
Yeah, as the characters, as few or many as they are in the movie. Yeah, definitely. I agree.
But
Mission is crazy tough.
It is. And of course, stay tuned. We are going to be covering the top 10 albums of the year as well, 2022. Great year for music. Stay tuned for that. But before we do, we're going to dive right into the movie. This movie's fantastic. This movie is honestly the closest thing to perfect that I think a movie can get.
Yeah, at least a superhero movie. I think there's other aspects that you could like potentially create for like, but yeah, for a superhero movie, like, it doesn't feel like one. I know me and Smoke were talking about this. It's like a drama first. It doesn't even like, obviously he has like his metal claws and shit like that, and you have all the other, like the backdrop of mutants. But like you really could. I wouldn't blame you for forgetting it because there's just so much stuff to unpack in the movie, and so much stuff that isn't even said that I love.
It's like,
and when I talk
for a superhero movie by far, it's very, very drama heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I mean, their main focus with this was giving Hugh Jackman the biggest send-off, even though he's coming back and will come back also for Secret Wars, giving that character the biggest and greatest send-off that they could give it.
And they did.
And they did it. They did it. Like, they successfully did it. If he would have never, ever came back as this character, I would be fine with it. Am I happy we're still getting him in Deadpool 3? Yeah, absolutely. But I'm still perfectly fine with his character ending that way, and the fact that they have still said that they are not ruining or touching Logan because whatever they take Hugh Jackman from is coming from. God bless. God fucking bless.
I hope they fuck that shit up. That's like the definitive ending for a character, like not even just comic book, like characters as a whole in media.
There's a whole generation of audiences watching. Like he was the first like real big.
We literally grew up with him. He came out in 2000 and ended in 2017. Like, we literally grew up with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Yeah, like he was one of the only pieces of that like X-Men roster that I actually was excited to see. Like, obviously there was some standouts, but for the most part, you're watching it for Logan or Professor X
or Magneto.
Magneto. Yeah, of course, Magneto too. But yeah, for like the most part, like he was the biggest draw to that series. And
he was also the biggest name to that series besides fucking Patrick Stewart, who was also in this movie.
And just how far he's come too. Like you could say what you want about X-Men's Origins Wolverine, and maybe even the Wolverine itself, but like what a job it does. Yeah, but like what a job it does.
It's like not. You could say those movies are shit or mid or whatever you want to say about them, but it's not Hugh Jackman's fault.
No, it's not.
Okay.
He never mails in a performance. Never.
Yeah,
absolutely. He puts on the performance of a lifetime for Wolverine, where I don't give a fuck that this man is 6'2", 6'3", or however fucking tall he is. He's still Wolverine, even though I would love to see a comic accurate 5'8" or 5'3" Wolverine, whatever the fuck he is.
You got to get Umbrella to be Wolverine.
That'd be calm. Mama's Wolverine.
Yeah, but there's so much to love about this movie. There's so much to like appreciate. Like, I guess we can, like you said, jump into some of our favorite and least favorite characters. But
So all right. I'm going back to our MCU roots with this one. I can't say Logan. As much as I want to say Logan, with how much we've seen him evolve over time and grow as a character, I can't say Logan because he's the obvious pick. I'm pretty sure it would be all three of our picks.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So for me, I'm gonna honestly go with Professor X because Patrick Stewart, of course, puts on the greatest performances ever, and just the strongest mind in the entire world, literally losing it, is fantastic. I think that's the best way they could have went about him still being alive, dealing with all this shit, feeling he felt every mutant die, every single one.
I mean, he friggin' is the whole. I mean, we didn't get too much information on like what happened at his school, but I mean, I'm assuming he had a pretty big play in that too. So like, he killed them, and he like it's just
considering that
so tough.
him and Wolverine are the only ones left alive. I'm pretty sure Wolverine made it his point to save Professor X, and that's it. Because
I mean, like, what do you?
Professor X
do?
is like the closest thing he has to like family.
Yeah. I mean, he even said it in the movie. Like he's obviously still always going to be like Wolverine just because of how long he's lived for and stuff. But like, he was the closest thing to like structure that he ever gave him, like bringing him into the school and stuff like that. Like, he was legitimately a wild animal. I mean, we see him in the previous movie. He was a fucking wild animal in all these movies, running around.
In Origins, in X-Men 1.
Yeah. Like in most of these movies, he's kind of just like a headless chicken just running, just being like tossed at people to kill. And then all of a sudden, he finally has a little bit of structure. He meets Jean and stuff like that. And then obviously this movie happens, and oof. Oh,
it hits the fucking spot.
Yeah, but
it was Sav's first time watching it, actually, when we watched it the other day.
He's in for a treat, damn.
Well, he literally said to me, he said, I fucking hate that you made me watch this movie because of the fact that they kill both Professor X and Wolverine, and it hurts. Like, both of those kills fucking hurt.
I was
like Professor
up the other day, and this movie's what, 6 years old now? Like,
Jesus Christ, it almost is.
Yeah, it's fucking elite.
But yeah, it's like Professor X's kill or death definitely, I think, hit. I don't even know. They both hit me pretty hard, but
differently. I feel like because like Professor is talking like he thinks it's Logan, and like Logan's never gonna hear all the shit that he was saying to him before he died. And that shit's heartbreaking. I was like, holy fuck.
And then with Logan, he sacrifices literally everything to save his child because he realizes. And then, of course, the prophecy from the Wolverine with him dying with his heart in his hand actually comes through with him dying with X-23 and his it is a masterpiece. And I'm getting fucking chills just talking about it right now.
Yeah, what a fucking movie, man! What a send off to the character. And I'll speak about it in our favorite and least favorite parts of the movie, like my thoughts on the whole thing. But I mean, I get agree with you for Professor X being my favorite character. Like, I don't really think there's anyone. Pardon. Woo!
Oscar.
I don't think that. No, yeah. I don't think there's anyone close after the two of them. At least in terms of like the send off, the payoff, like just the overall treatment.
I will say I think X-23 is a great character. However, she doesn't talk much.
Yeah, exactly.
I think she's pretty strong. She's opposite Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart.
I would love to see her come back in either Deadpool 3 or a future project as X-23. I think that would be great. I want to see how her acting has evolved.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a fucking hell of a way to start like your big motion picture action career. It's like you're acting across from some of the legends of the genre. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Smoke, I don't know if you had anything different for your favorite character.
I've been like sitting here trying to think if there was another character that I mean, like I feel like those three are like the heart and soul of the movie. It's so hard for me to like give anybody. I mean, I feel like most of the cast did a fucking phenomenal job. I mean, even the bad guy was in my mind right now. I thought he was pretty good too. Like he wasn't like
which one, the mercenary or like the actual doctor
with the metal hand. Like even he wasn't like generic bad guy by any means. Like he gets you from point A to point B, but I feel like he was like
he's such a scum. He's a big fan, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's why. It's just like he had like charisma and he was like an interesting character. I'm like, okay, I can get with this guy.
I think he was the guy who was in Narcos. I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but I'm pretty sure he was.
I've never seen Narcos. No,
yeah, he's phenomenal in Narcos. I don't remember. He kind of looks like that Jared Goff. What's the other guy's name? Ryan Gosling. Yeah, like they all kind of have that same look to them.
Yeah,
but I think it was him. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, one more thing I want to add on Professor X and Wolverine 2, and I think what I love about this movie so much is that, and if Sav didn't see the previous X-Men movies, that's a fucking tragedy.
No, he's seen most of the X-Men movies.
Okay, good. Excellent.
The only one he said the last X-Men movie he saw was Days of Future Past, which I said good. Don't watch any others.
Yeah,
okay,
that's what you need to watch.
I mean, like, even see, I agree, but like after seeing all of them, because I mean, X-Men was our childhood before the MCU. You had to be fucking on. You had to watch something that was related. Like, as bad as those movies are, like just the fact of how good this movie is and how good the send off for his character, like I wouldn't watch them, but like I'd at least like get a plot synopsis before we watch, just to see like just the way it stacks.
So he saw X 1, 2, and 3. The only ones he hasn't seen is Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix.
Okay, excellent.
Anything after?
Yeah, that's what I said. I said don't. You don't need to.
Yeah,
don't even.
It's just it's like I'm not gonna go out and say that these movies are even like even comparable to like obviously the whole like phase 1, 2, and 3, but like, it's just the way that it stacks on each other in the end. Like you just see where Wolverine came from, him being like this like having to like kill, I think it was his father or something like that, like way back when, and then all the fucked up shit that happens to him getting adamantium tossed in him and that kind of stuff, just for it to end at this point. I don't know. I just, it's something about like the story, like how we got there, that's just so interesting. What makes this movie so much better. The same thing with Professor X is like we see him as James McAvoy, like young, smart, charismatic, like all these amazing things that he has to offer. Like he literally got together all these mutants, helped all these people, and now he can't even control. Like his whole point was that he never wanted his mind to be used for bad or any sort of evil. And now he can't even control. Like it's fucking beautiful, like beautiful.
Yeah,
like,
the way that they built this was fantastic.
Right, definitely.
But I guess then going on to least favorite character, I have two. First off, it's not the character, it's the actor. Richard Grant, fuck you for everything you did with fucking I cried, I laughed, I fist bumped. No, fuck you, and everything you stand for.
Yeah,
the other
that one down.
The actual character I dislike is Caliban. Yeah. Fuck that albino fuck.
That is
easy. He's nasty looking.
It gets me tight that he like sacrificed himself, but then he sacrificed himself for nothing. Like he just got smoked.
Does it get you tight that he's the lizard?
Is he really?
I'm like 95%.
No, he's not. That's not freaking an Otto Hightower.
Oh no, it's not. He looks like a lizard.
That just look like Brits.
Yeah, that's true. He looks like the fucking lizard.
Yeah, I know Otto Hightower when I see him.
Regardless, he's not that. I mean, I do appreciate he sacrifices himself to allow them to, I don't know, get away. Kind of.
He kind of just fucking blows himself up.
Yeah, he really doesn't do much, but like he's kind of a useless character. I don't really know. I get like Logan probably kept him for tracking reasons or to keep to make sure nothing was getting close or whatever. But I still don't fully know how the fuck his mutation works.
Yeah, they really didn't care too much about his character. It was more of
apparently he's in another movie too, as a different actor, but he's in another X-Men movie.
Like that, like Caliban is in another.
Caliban. I'm pretty sure it's X3, which would make sense because that's the most forgettable of the first three.
Yeah, and there's a lot of mutants in that movie, so there could have been maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that guy though. He does nothing.
God damn it! My shit's frozen again.
It's all right. We can still see you.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know if you two have anything different before we go on to make or break.
No, I agree with you in all the points. Like fuck Richard E. Grant. He was alright as Loki, but I can't sign off on the same man who cried watching fucking the Star Wars sequel trilogy.
And unfortunately, we're putting that clip in whenever we get to the sequel trilogy.
Oh God.
Yeah, I agree.
I
feel like it's like the hallmark of this character is when you could remove them from the story they're in and nothing changes, and he is that to a T. Like, I mean, like aside from just like fucking up over and over again and getting the bad guys closer to Logan, he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, literally. Like the only thing he does is he goes to drive the bad guy away and then gets himself captured instead.
And then fucking nukes himself. And that's the end of that character.
And he doesn't even kill what's his name? The guy with freaking the guy with the robot hand. I forgot his the other guy.
I don't even know what is his name? Pierce?
Is it Pierce?
Pierce. It's Pierce.
Yeah,
It's Pierce.
yeah,
Bullied Holbrook.
yeah.
But go ahead.
I know. I was just gonna say, we can just jump into some of our least favorite. Oh my god, I can't even freaking speak today.
Make or break moments.
Make or break moments. Yeah, make or break moments.
Yeah. So I don't have any breaks. I don't know about you, boys. Just to get that out of the way, like I said, this is the closest that in a superhero movie can get to perfect. So I have nothing that I could really pull out of it, unless I'm being like this stupid little nitpicky pull apart that fucking
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either, honestly.
Let me just
make moments though.
There's a lot of make moments.
I was to say,
absolutely.
Like, just starting off, the opening scene, perfect.
Yeah.
Literally,
that slaughter is
perfect.
That slaughter is fucking crazy, man.
We get justification for the R rating right off the bat. We see that Logan's struggling in his old age and with the metal poisoning. Like, we just see Wolverine be Wolverine.
Beard fire, by the way. That beard goes so hard.
Yeah, yeah, he looks so tough in the fucking movie.
The gray and then
the whole
Old Man Logan, so tough, man. Mm-hmm. If you've never read the Old Man Logan series, highly recommend. That's what obviously this is based off of. Logan's death, end of the world, fantastic. But yeah, I think this movie opens perfectly. It justifies the R rating. You see a classic Wolverine slaughter, like him pulling out the fucking his blades because they get stuck half in. Hey, that's excruciating to watch. But it's great. The CGI, because that's all CGI, so that's fucking fantastic.
Definitely sets the tone for the movie, the opening scene for sure.
If one of you two want to take up on the next one.
Smoke, did you have anything? Because I have a couple that I'm gonna fucking go on a rant about. Like, not a good rant.
Okay, well, definitely one of the standout scenes, aside from like the ending scene with Logan and all that stuff, and I'm sure you're probably gonna get into that, is the whole sequence when like they're breaking into the hotel room where Professor X is in, and
yes,
slow motion, like, and Logan's just trying to cut his way to the room to try to save him. It's like that shit is fucking how you do a scene. Like, it's just the whole time you're watching it, you're just gripped. You're like, holy fucking shit! Like, this is
because the instant that the vibration starts, you know what's going on because we see it happen earlier in the movie. So like the instant it happens, you're like, oh shit, they got him.
Right, like he's popping off up there.
Yeah. And then with like how they literally have the gun pointed to the side of his head.
Oh yeah, and it's so funny too. Like you watch like the guys like they're frozen, and you see Logan slowly pulling up at them, and they just get stabbed one by one. Like it's just that shit.
You see some of their eyes like pop out too.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be fucking shitting me! Like he's just crawling over to them, and they can't do anything about it. It's like, bro,
they're frozen there with their guns in their hands, sitting there like this. Like
I was reading it on IMDb. I don't know how true it is, but apparently they had like two guys like on a rope holding him back to make it look like he was like actually like staggered a little bit.
Yeah, I could see that. I could absolutely see that.
Because
I mean,
Owen, man.
There's no way you like even if I was to get up right now and just move in slow motion, like I can't emulate that kind of resistance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, here it is. Yeah, he was held back by a rope pulled by two men in order to give a more realistic portrayal. That's fucking crazy.
Because
the fact that he was pulling two men is kind of ridiculous.
Dude's exerting. I mean, fucking Hugh Jackman is in incredible shape in this movie too. Like he's always been for Wolverine, but I mean, you forget he's an older man in this movie. Like
he's like what? He was what 50 something making this movie.
I think it was 50 on the dot, or if not, like very close.
Which is fucking ridiculous, man. I mean, like
absolutely.
I mean,
you see guys in the early 40s that look like scrubs.
Yeah, and
this man's walking around fucking yoked.
Yeah, he's running around in a fucking wife beater at the end, and he's fucking tight, man. He's put together. Like he's an incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Can't even imagine what he did to fucking maintain that shape, but.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why he stopped playing Wolverine.
Oh, yeah.
That shit was fucking kid. That shit was the real life equivalent of adamantium.
Fucking I don't know how he's doing that again. He's literally doing it again.
That's why I'll go into it at the end because it fits into one of the categories when we're rating. So I'll go into that joint. But I don't even know where to start for some of my favorite moments. I'll get rid of the one elephant in the room for myself, and it very clearly. I mean, it very soon after gets kind of extinguished for me. But at the end of the day, it's still a Wolverine copy against Wolverine. I think X-24 was fucking nuts, and it's cool seeing what a Wolverine used to be. But at the end of the day, we have 3 Wolverines in this movie. And it's like when mutants, I think what I love so much about mutants is that you have these crazy powers, like so much variety, where it's like some people straight up have wings. Wolverine has like 3 different powers in one. It's like you have all these different varieties and mutations and stuff. And then we just have 3 Wolverines in the same movie. Like, I don't know.
They're clones.
Yeah, I know. It's like you can slice it up any way you want, but we talk about it in the Marvel movies the same way, so I got to slide it the same way. I got to be consistent across the board.
I'm not. Yeah, it still is, like you said, the same power versus same power.
Yeah, which is kind of, it sucks, but I mean, like, it makes for
it's done well.
It makes, no, exactly. Like I said, it very quickly gets extinguished for me as like a gripe, more of just like a, like kind of like an annoyance, more than like me being like legitimately tight about it. But it makes for some. That ending scene when when he runs up on the X-24 and they're just shanking each other when they're just literally just freaking,
they're just going at it.
And they're just like oh, and with the white T-shirt is perfect. Whether he's just bleeding everywhere, and it's so gruesome. Like, it's so nitty gritty. It's so visceral. The entire movie, like, they're like, I can't say it enough. That's what I'm saying. I can't say it enough how much we needed a rated R Logan movie off them. Like, that character just fucking thrives in this kind of.
The fact that it took the 17 years though, and Deadpool getting a movie first is vibe.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think in hindsight, it fucking blows because how long we had to wait for. But the fact that it came out, God fucking bless, man. Oof.
And that is why I'm so excited for Deadpool 3, is because we're getting Deadpool and Logan, with them being obviously the best versions of those characters, in rated R as a passion project by both of these actors who love playing these characters.
Yeah, it's just going to be freaking bananas. Yeah,
I cannot wait for that movie. That is probably my most anticipated movie besides Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm. No, it's so good. I mean, like, it just cannot be understated. Hugh Jackman's performance in this movie, like, it's sad at a base level. It's the stories are super tragic and all that, just terrible. You always hate to see someone at the end of their reign, where it's like how like what Logan literally be running through armies with like just killing them all, and now he can barely fight up against like goons, and it's just tragic. But oh my god, he does such a great fucking job portraying it. Like, I don't even know. Well, I don't even know like how you replace a character like that. Like, after a movie like this, like, it's just so fucking well done. Another scene I like is when Kaladin, or whatever the hell his name is, the albino, whenever he's like, what if he wakes up before I get you? And Logan fucking drills him with a kick. And he just looks at him. It was at some point in the movie when they were trying to get one of they were,
it's
like,
in the beginning. It's the main goon. It's Pierce or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he literally drills his ass with a fucking kick.
He won't.
You don't wake up. Yeah, and he just looks at him like, it's great. But I mean, I can't say enough good things about this movie.
Yeah, I mean, any scene could be taken as a
absolutely
a make moment. Like I said, this movie is by all definitions, in my opinion, almost perfect.
And then when they're pulling up, when the whatever government agency or whatever the hell they are is pulling up on them, when they're at like that I want to call it Rust, but it's not Rust. It's like that freaking farm or whatever.
It's basically Rust.
Yeah, when they're pulling, they just have the endless wave of goons. I fucking love that. They kill so many guys, and then like when they're leaving, you just see the goons. Yeah, but my goodness, man. And Professor X looking young in this movie. Patrick Stewart is looking freaking.
Well, Patrick Stewart's looking young in general now. He's looking mad young now in general. So,
but still, also what a performance from Patrick Stewart as well. Like, I think those two, the dynamic between those two characters is just what makes this movie, like you said, close to.
It's what makes this
perfection
franchise.
as you can get. Yeah,
it's what makes this franchise so good.
Because they have
like that.
Like, it's genuine. Like, when they're working together,
yeah,
they have a very real relationship. Like, it's authentic, and you could feel it, the way they interact, the way that they talk. Like, it's just it's.
I mean, like, these guys literally have been acting together since we were born. Me and Hag in 2000. Like, that's freaking crazy. That is
so
like,
crazy.
Just think about how much built up just chemistry and friendship and just overall just screen presence they have with each other. And it's the same thing with Days of Future Past. Like, still the greatest part of that movie, Magneto, of course, as well, is Professor X and Logan again. Just It's like that. The easy one is I can think about that scene in Days of Future Past when he pulls up on Charles. It's just so good, so freaking good, man.
But enough about that movie. We'll tap into some of our favorite quotes. But so mine is the one that I just have to get this out of the way. It's a funny one because this is literally fucking me every time I'm driving. When the fucking the self-driving cars, the fucking Logan's just like, goddamn smart cars.
Oh, and another thing I have to add is Logan taking that green shit at the end, and all of a sudden you just hear the scream in the distance. You see him running his me off Don Julio. like literally, you just hear like a tremor in the forest. So he was, oh, and you just see him fucking running. Like he was running.
He takes all of it.
Yeah,
let me just shoot myself up real quick.
Like I gotta know whether they fast forward or not, but he was fucking moving. Like he was going top speed through that.
I'm pretty sure he was actually running. Like that was actually him running.
I just love that. But yeah, so do you have any other quotes? Because I got a couple.
I got a couple, but someone else can take over while I pick through them.
For first and foremost, I just liked that even though they weren't real comics, I loved the integration of the comics in the movie. I think it's a weird kind of meta kind of shift that they have. Well,
that's what the MCU is doing with it now.
Yeah, exactly, and it's just. But I almost want to say it's better because they kind of just mention it, and it's obviously, and I think it just adds to the notoriety of the mutants, and as we get from Pierce, how he's kind of calling him his biggest fan and stuff like that. I just think it adds so much more notoriety to the characters. And another thing another thing that I really enjoy too is how much they obviously some companies aren't as good as others with doing this, but how there's so much exposition that we didn't see. But they just them talking about it does such great justice. The whole Westchester incident where you have the whole mutants not being born anymore. I just think they do such a great job with all that stuff.
Yeah, they show the mutants are pretty much extinct at this point without actually showing you that extinction level event.
They just do everything. I mean, without having to sit there. Yeah. You exposition.
This is the biggest example that we've said numerous times of the way you have to show or don't show, tell.
Yeah, exactly. And DC's terrible with it. DC Stray of the Week. DC's terrible with it, but when you see it, it's all right, you don't need to see a 5-minute scene of all the Professor X killing all these mutants stuff. It's more of left with the imagination, not even knowing which X-Men were killed. It just adds so much to it because damn, who was
Jean?
It?
Did he kill Scott?
Yeah.
Or Beast, his best friend.
And it's we're kind of in the same shoes as Charles because he only remembers at the end, and obviously of course he has that horrible shank death, literally a ball confessing his feelings to Logan, who's not even actually the Logan. But my goodness, man! And the quote I actually had, I've been freaking dancing around it when he's talking about the comic books. He's he saw that Eden was fake because it had the coordinates on the comic. And it's this is ice cream for bedwetters. And he's talking about
Smoke,
that was a fucking hilarious quote.
Well, I was talking about it before and said it multiple times in our group chat. And I don't even think it's said in the movie. I think it was just the tagline stuff. But I'm telling you, just one of the most epic fucking quotes in the history of movies is when that whole thing where it's nature made me a freak, man made me a weapon, and God made it last too long. That shit is so fucking hard. And it's also Wolverine to a T. That's his character.
Yeah. Literally.
That's why
it's beautiful.
Had numerous.
I think you're right. I don't think that's said in the movie at all.
I think it was on one.
Yeah, I think it was in a trailer.
Yeah, I think it was literally one of the posters and a trailer or something. I wish it was in the movie because that shit is fucking epic.
It would have, but I feel like it would have been too corny in a scene.
No,
I think it make perfect. What?
I don't know where I would put it into the movie, and I'm honestly not like you said.
I think Charles would have to say it. I don't think Logan could say it. I think Charles would have to say it to him.
It would have to.
Yeah.
Introspective scene, and he couldn't deliver the way that he does, where it would have to be much more flat. But I love that.
Yeah,
it's just so fucking hard. That's a big one for me.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I have another quote. I love it when they're talking about when they're at the hotel when he first really meets X-23 when he meets Laura, and the woman comes out the person who's at the desk. She comes out. And he's oh, what they're talking about paying for or something like that. And he's so get your fat ass back in your office. You'll get your money.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't remember the exact like how we led up to that point, but that shit is fucking. That
It's
shit
good.
is so
X-23
funny.
throws the ball into the window, and then she
Yeah.
comes. She's like, she's gotta pay for that." And she's like, "All right, just go back inside because the nurse faints." And
Yeah,
she's
exactly.
like, "Well, she's
It's
gotta
like,
pay for it." She's like, "Say, get your fat ass back at your office. You'll get your goddamn money."
yeah, fucking great.
Another one is a fucking. I don't. It's not really a quote, but it's just a funny interaction. That is fucking when they're getting like their disguise clothes. Professor X is just fucking fiddling with the hat. I don't know why, but it always just puts a smile on my face just because he's literally just fucking with a hat. He's just like, yeah, I need this right now.
He has hair.
Yeah, he does.
Another one like is the whole scene where like Professor X is using the bathroom or something, like that vial like mic on him, as you can see his pants like getting ripped off from the other side of the stall. He's like, "Trust me, I'm not looking." He's like, "I can do this myself." Once again, just another example of
turn around. Trust me, I ain't looking.
Yeah, just a great example of their chemistry. Like you just hear like the ripping of the pants, like getting knocked.
Well, you see nothing besides like this much that's under the stall. Their legs just go. He's like pushing him onto the toilet and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's so many great quotes in this movie. Like this is one of those movies where there actually is so much meaning. Like you don't really just need the context. Like it's just at a glance, these quotes are fucking.
I mean, literally,
great.
his entire last. I don't want to say monologue because it's not that long, but him talking to X-23 as he's dying is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah, it just hits everything perfectly. Like it's got the comedy when it needs it because it doesn't have to take itself seriously the entire movie. But that last scene, they knew what they had to do, and Logan just posted up on that tree stump, just looking fucking like shit, looking horrible, like so uncharacteristic of Logan. Like literally, that man was getting disintegrated by fucking Jean in Last Stand or whatever it was. He was looking ghastly then too. He was like he got hit by an atom bomb, and he's still
like, literally saying the atomic bomb in the Wolverine.
Exactly, and then like he still looks like and he recovers from all of that, but like then you just see him on the stump. Like I said, just like where he's come, like the journey he's went on is just to now, and then you see him, and it just brings me chills. It's just like it's crazy, man. Yeah, but that's really all I got. That's really all I got for quotes, though.
Yeah, that's all I got as well.
I have one more. I know I put down a few on this paper. I'm just trying to remember.
Yeah,
oh, well, I mean, I know we talked a little bit about the ending too when they were when he was talking with Laura and he said like, "How do you know?" or something like that, and because she said Charles told me, and he was like, "What else did he tell?" He was like, "To not let you." It's like it's tough, man. It really is tough.
Mm-hmm.
Just gets you like
you're giving me chills again.
And the chills that it gives you, it's like, fuck, man. I'm gonna watch.
It's like I just watched this movie 2 days ago, and now I want to watch it again just because we're talking about it.
No, exactly.
Thank the gods for James Mangold. Needed that off him.
He's the director, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. What I don't know.
Need that.
Here's the usual. Or I'm about to check through. What has he done before? Is he doing Indy 5? No way.
Really?
I know. No, he's not. He's doing Ford vs Ferrari. He did The Greatest Showman.
Okay. Yeah,
Ford vs Ferrari. I need to watch. Quills keeps saying how fucking good that shit is.
Great movie. Yeah, it's a great freaking movie. Another one me and Smoke were talking about is probably more into the great scenes where, like, I feel like in other movies I might have seen too on the nose to make his like cross turn into an X, but my God, how good that felt when she did it.
Oh,
like I don't know. Yeah. It's like him being the first and the last, but like him just being the last X-Men to fall. It's just like it's just the end of an era kind of thing. Like just whenever you see that in movies, when you have these characters built to such heights, seeing them at their power, seeing that huge brawl in Last Stand where you have all of these mutants pulling up on each other, so it would all end with one guy being the last one, like the last.
And then they slaughter the fucking Legacy with Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix.
Hey, we don't. Those movies don't exist.
Oh yeah, it's just fucking tough, man. That's the thing. Like
I will never forgive Chet for making me watch Dark Phoenix. It was the only Marvel movie I never saw, and he fucking made me watch it.
I honestly that movie, to be honest with you, so I couldn't tell you what happens, and I'm very fortunate about that.
Neither could I.
That movie.
I remember the Crip Walk.
Anyways, yeah, that's true. He does hit the Crip Walk. I guess we could slide on to Yates, which I'm not gonna lie, I don't have any. I don't know about you boys.
Smoke, did you have any? Because I have one or two.
I honestly don't think I had any. I think it was like kind of the same thing as the break moments. I don't really think there was anything that took me out of it for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, me either.
It's just so hard to gauge because it's like, I mean, you don't really know like how Logan is, so it's like him getting slammed into a tree stump. You're like, okay, he could probably like live a little longer, but you just don't know. So it's so hard to gauge. Like, is that a yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Would he just die? Would he like? It's hard. But
But especially when you factor in the adamantium poisoning and
Right.
then getting so old and all this other crap.
There's so many factors at play, so it's like you can't sit here and realistically judge that because the whole situation is like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I had any of that. Nothing that comes to mind.
I have nothing for Logan because like for all the reasons you guys said. The only one I had was the dad on the farm getting shanked, falling down the stairs, and then somehow getting in the car and fucking hitting X-24 with it. And then he died pretty much right after. So I think that kind of makes up for it. But he got tossed.
It's probably just. I think this happens with a lot of people. It's like that your adrenaline is still running, so he's just taking all of his last bit of energy to do what he can to help.
Yeah. It's just like getting stabbed in the chest with 3 separate claws is gonna.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, it's a little far fetched. Like he probably, unless X-24 like hit like or just missed like his lungs and his heart enough where he was able to do that and not bleed out completely. But yeah, it is a little like the distance that he had to travel is a little far.
Yeah, but
that family fucking holy.
What are you saying?
I was saying that family got fucking diced.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, like it really is like, and they even said it in the movie where it's like Logan said, where it's like everyone I fucking get near just meets a brutal end too.
Yeah,
which is why he was in isolation in Mexico.
Mm-hmm. Because like literally, like it's just the story of his life. No matter who, no matter when, like no matter what he does to try to help somebody.
Yeah,
and it's never particularly nice either.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't the I don't remember her name, but the Asian girl from Wolverine, doesn't she get fucking slaughtered too?
No, I think she's like the only person who
doesn't, right?
Yeah, because she tells him his future and all that stuff. And I think she's alive at the end because they ride off in that fucking jet at the end. She gives him his.
Oh yeah, she gives him the yellow suit. That's right. That's
right. Unfortunately,
look,
unless
Deadpool 3.
I was gonna say they're gonna have to dust that off.
They have to. They fucking have to.
Even if it's just for a scene, they're gonna have to. We'll probably say like.
Well, it's the only movie that takes place technically in between the Wolverine and Logan when he would wear the suit. So I need him to wear the suit.
I'm telling you, he's gonna like wear it for one scene. He's gonna be like, "This shit looks so fucking dumb," and then take it off. Like it's gonna go exactly.
Or he won't, or he just won't use the helmet, and it'll just be the jumpsuit or something.
That color scheme, he's just never worn it before. Which I mean, it's.
I know. I feel like Hugh Jackman would look so good in that color scheme. Anyways, Deal, what was your other? Yeah,
I was a stupid one. It was just the train. Like the longest train in history when they were separated between them and the bad guys, and they were just looking at the train. That shit just never ended. The freight train or whatever. That shit was fucking ridiculous.
That's a classic.
Like looking down, and you literally don't see an end in sight. He's like, "Well, fuck."
Yeah, exactly. Then all of a sudden it just cuts to them not being there anymore. It's like, damn, I guess that train really just never ended because they just never pursued them after.
Yeah, it just didn't matter.
But that's it.
Yeah,
it's stupid. It's stupid because this movie's a fucking masterpiece, and I got nothing actually to critique about it besides the one thing I mentioned earlier, and that's it.
Yes, and then moving on to goofs, and there's actually only one of significant note, and I noticed it myself, and I don't know if you boys did or not, but around an hour and 1 minute when Xavier's having the seizure in the hotel, everyone's frozen. Except for one woman playing slots, and she's still looking around, unfazed.
That's pretty funny. I didn't.
No one told her.
No one told her that she's literally just sitting there, just looking around. I wonder if if it was like some random woman actually like wandered onto set and like wasn't an extra, and they didn't, and it just started playing slots or some shit.
God tier mutant.
Yeah, she's an Omega level.
Yeah,
mutant.
exactly. He's just fucking playing slots.
But yeah, it's like. Stuff like that. It's just funny to think about. Like, wow, that really got through a fucking AAA fucking. Here's another staple. What's the budget on this movie, DL? You got it pulled up?
No, I don't actually.
Oh wow, that's surprising.
Yeah, normally I have the budget pulled up for Logan. I'm gonna say,
anyone feel like 150. 150.
No, it's freaking.
I'm kind of curious.
Are you guessing or?
150 is my guess.
Okay.
I would probably say around 150, but I could see it being lower, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie.
Look at that.
Yeah. It is 127 million on or about. It's a range.
You're
Okay.
pretty close.
Yeah, the high end is 127, low end's 97. But obviously, with movies,
It is
with
not
the market-
97. There's no
especially,
way it's 97.
especially with the marketing and stuff. Like, obviously, we don't usually talk about it, but like,
This
it's
movie
a lot.
was marketed to all hell in the best way possible because it's Hugh Jackman's send-off. Everyone knew this was going to be.
Yeah, with the marketing, this movie
Was
is
gonna
probably
be his last
easy
movie.
over 2 million,
Dude,
200
fun
million.
trailer. It was
Easy.
one of my favorite trailers for a movie of all time. Where
The first one?
yeah, where like it like just that song playing and then it ends with Professor X saying like, Logan, you still have time. I still think about that trailer, bro. That shit is so tough. It's
And the fact that I think that thank God this movie came out in 2017 and not 2018 because 2018 was already stacked with fucking good.
Got Venom.
yeah.
Not talking about Venom, but this.
Bro,
we
I'm
had-
still shook about that. I that still don't sit right with me. I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight again.
knowing that
We
came
got
out in
people
2018.
That is kind of crazy.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah,
Oh.
but besides the fact, DL, you know what time it is.
Well. What do we have here? We got thirsty moment of the movie and a grim, horrifying, friggin'
Look, we get
super
one
depressing.
shot. We get one
Yes.
shot, and they had to use their
Obviously.
R rating.
Boobies in the limo.
Yay! Hey, driver.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Even
literally it. That's like
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
that's what I say. Julie's, hey driver, and he's like, I'm done.
That's all we needed. Like, literally, there was nothing else that was going to be in this movie for that. But like,
yeah,
you
definitely didn't need any
to-
gratuitous ass shots when he's fucking on his last leg. Literally, Logan's suffering this entire movie, and all of a sudden, like, at walking away, you just see like a gratuitous ass shot. Ugh, that would be so fucking.
That'd be vile. But it's just funny to me that like they had this R rating and they're like, let's throw some tits in for fun. Literally, that was unnecessary, and they're just like, let's
Yeah.
just throw it in there.
Yeah. I mean, if this movie can be on Disney Plus, literally anything else can. Like, this is the
No,
this
Deadpool is on Disney Plus. Deadpool's literally getting pegged in that movie.
That's true. I just think, like, just in terms of like the actual, like, I think people's problem with gore is when it's like kind of like glorified, like the way it is in this movie. Where Deadpool is kind of just like it's a walking satire of itself. So like maybe you can kind of put this side of it.
Deadpool. No, he literally like stops himself in the first movie.
Yeah.
He's like, my boyfriend told me it was a superhero movie, but he just turned that guy into a fucking kebab.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Deadpool.
I fucking we trust me, we will be covering Deadpool. I fucking love those movies.
Yeah, exactly. Like it doesn't take itself seriously to the same note, but like when you have Logan literally just dicing up crowds of people, like it's just so
He
much
cuts
more
off
to that arm.
a guy's arm, and literally does this and shoots his things into it. It's some guy's
That shit is.
head. All in this movie.
Oh my.
X-24 was kind of on a fucking rampage too, taking people.
Dicing people.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, what they did to
What
that
do you
family, it's like usually in Deadpool, he's at least killing bad guys. But like that family did not deserve
That family
that, bro.
got fucking iced, bro.
Oh, dude, they were just minding their own fucking business too, and even the like that gang or whatever it was, they were kind of minding their own business too, kind of just pulling up on the farmer for like kind of talking shit to them, and they got fucking iced too.
I forgot about that.
Like, just no, it's senseless violence. I think that's more of like that's the rated R that people are concerned about. I mean, I have my own opinions on it, but like the hate, some of the haters will be like, oh, it's like you're glorifying these people getting murdered, and this is the only movie where I can almost consider it, just because it is so like it starts vile and it ends.
It's satisfying, though. I'm not gonna lie. It's satisfying to watch.
It's taken up for 17 years of PG
Yeah.
Wolverine because he's cutting people and there's no blood, no limbs are coming out. Like this is what it would look like if you had to do with metal claws slicing people, blood flying, like getting decapitated and.
This is why I'm so glad that Kevin Feige is literally just letting Deadpool do fucking Deadpool shit and giving him the rated R. Thank fucking God. Hopefully that means we'll get more rated R movies.
That scene lives rent free in my head from one of the X-Men movies when he's like keeps cutting off the guy's arms and shit, and then for some reason he kicks him in the ball and he's like, grow those back, even though he really would, and he actually would. Like that scene lives rent free in my fucking head. I think that's Last Stand. That shit lives.
It probably is
rent free in my head.
But we would be normally moving on for the question of the week, but this week we did ask you guys what your top 5 albums, top 10/5 albums were. So we will be talking about that at the end when we talk about the three of ours. So then I guess, DL, would you like to share your screen?
No.
All right. All right.
Have a good one, guys.
It's time to sign off. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Hold on 1 second.
I will.
Say no. I don't think I will. All right. So, can you see this?
It's loading. So there it is.
Okay. So, no surprise here, guys. Like,
I'm shocked.
Holy
exactly.
shit!
Yeah, so no surprise here. The most top-heavy movie we've probably covered in all of Staincast history. Literally, what is that? 16, 30, 25, 20. That's literally like almost the entire movie. I mean, you could add up the other one. It's like less than 10% of this movie gave it below a 7.
It's like 80. What is that? 80%? Just doing quick math real quick.
Because it's 5, so it'd be 6. Yeah, so that's 7. No, yeah, it's less than 10% almost, if not 10% of the people gave it under a 7, which is fucking insanity. And of that,
I want to know why 0.07% of people gave it a fucking
hating
for no reason.
Hating on greatness. All right, and then taking a little peek down here. No surprise here as well. This movie is obviously gory as shit and freaking stupid vile. So we got ourselves, the highest is going to be a 8.4 18-29. Absolutely no surprise.
That was like literally our age group growing up with Wolverine their entire lives.
Mm-hmm. That's literally the X-Men era right there.
The people it's made for.
Mm-hmm. So absolutely no surprise there. And then this one doesn't have that many, I guess, of the total.
7 point. It's literally just all the old heads given to 7.7.
Yeah, exactly. So females 30 to 44, then male and female 45 plus all gave it the lowest rating. I mean, okay. Even still, 7.7 being the lowest one is still very, very good. Like, even if you dislike a movie, like giving it a 7.7, like you don't dislike it that much. Like, even on the low end, that's very impressive.
Yeah, but all of these, I mean, I can agree with them. Like you said, it's the biggest top-heavy movie. We've been praising it the whole time. Like, it deserves all of it.
Absolutely. Yeah, but that's all I got for you guys for the numbers. Not too much to discuss with that one because
it's exactly what we expected.
Yeah, for all the reasons that we said previous to this, for what we've been going on for the last 50 minutes. Yeah. But then I guess we can go over to the only numbers that really matter.
Yes, sir.
This week.
That's fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm glad that we both started using it.
It's true.
It is. It's the only ones that matter. It's the reason that you guys come here every week.
Mm-hmm.
So,
alrighty. Let's tap in.
Let's tap in. Story. I'm giving it a 4. I really don't think that there's anything less that it deserves.
Yeah, the first couple of these are pretty self-explanatory to me. They seem pretty open shut. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, there's one category that I'm a little back and forth on. The rest of them are pretty solid. But Story's a 4. We've been praising it the whole time. It's the perfect end to the Wolverine character. It's honestly would have been even the perfect end to the X-Men saga from Fox. Mm-hmm. And if this would have been the last X-Men movie we gotten, I would have been more than fine with it.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. I mean, I'm not going to talk about the movies that came after this in the X-Men saga. So, yeah. So story and writing, I have it at a 4 as well. Smoke, what do you got?
4.
Yeah. And then going on to acting, a surprise to no one, I also gave this one a 4. I mean, Hugh Jackman puts on a performance of a lifetime. Professor X puts on a performance of a lifetime. And even X-23 does phenomenal for child acting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
I love her yell too, by the way. I know it's just something random, but her yell when she's like launching towards people is so satisfying.
I like her claws on her feet too. That shit's nasty. It just adds to like the grittiness of her character. Like literally just kicking people with fucking.
It's definitely got something to do with her gender.
Yeah, her being a tiger or something like that. That's also extinct.
Yeah, all tigers are also extinct
in 2029 or whatever it is.
Yeah, 2029.
Originality.
This is the category I'm a little.
It's weird. I don't know because it's based. It does the classic X-Men joint where it's based on it, but it's not. Like, I don't know.
So I gave it a 3 because it is based off of the Old Man Logan storyline. Obviously, it's based off of something. However, when you say based off of something, it is based off of Old Man Logan, literally just on the fact that he's old.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's the classic X-Men joint where like the characters themselves and their interactions are just regular movie kind of status, but like the actual events that are happening are more of the
exactly. So I gave it. I think it deserves the 3 because all of the creative liberties it took from differentiating it from the Old Man Logan storyline is phenomenal. I think that the way that they were talking about X-23 and how her introduction, her backstory is great. That whole video, I think that it was annoying that they kind of had the phone die and then in the middle of it,
and they picked it back up later.
Here's my the fact that the fucking phone picked up immediately from where they left off in the video when they started charging it.
That would be nice.
But yeah, I don't know if you boys have anything different for it.
So I want to give it a 4 because it's not often that actors know when it's their time to put the character aside. Like it's such like a. Back. I mean, okay, see, then that's the problem. That's what I'm going to get into with my other one as well, and I guess I'll just jump into it now. I'm not fucking with that. Obviously, I am because I want to see Logan again, and I'm a sucker to see the guy I grew up with. But it's like
if they do it right, that's the only thing.
I'm just not sold because the hiatus he's on now, it's been friggin' 4 or 5 years, 6 years. It's like when you deliver a performance like that, that's a definitive end to your character. It's like you're kind of like putting them on the show. I mean, I'm not an actor, right? So I don't know the intricacies of it, but like that's what it would feel like to me. It's like if I'm portraying a character for so long and I'm like hanging up the shoes, like I'm done with the character. Like I'm putting him on the shelf and that's it. Like I'm not channeling him again. Like I don't know.
So it's and I think that this conversation is going to come back up fucking in 4 years when we cover Secret Wars. But it's the same thing with Tony Stark coming back, with RDJ coming back, because it's going to happen. I hate to break it to everybody. It's going to happen. He's going to come back, whether it's a cameo in Armor Wars in a flashback or it's in Secret Wars. He's coming back. And it's going to be the same thing where I'm not going to be happy about it, but I'm also gonna be happy about it because it's fucking RDJ. Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really know. It's because one, I haven't seen it, so that's obviously the biggest what if in this story is the fact that Deadpool 3. I'm not rooting for it to be bad or anything or ruining the character, but like it could. I'm not saying it would, but like you don't know. Like we just don't know right now. So I mean, it's just I've seen too many actors put away a gig and then try to restart or get a 20-year reboot, get a 10-year reboot, and they come back. It's not even the same character anymore. It's just them thinking about what their character would say, but like they've outgrown the character. They're just done with it. They're mentally, physically, they're done with it. He was in the greatest shape of his life doing God knows what for almost 20 years. That shit takes its toll on you. It takes its mental, it takes its physical, it takes everything all out of you. And that's why he stopped doing it. So it's like, is he going to get back on that stuff? Is he going to just kind of be like a little bit more, like, like a little bit more of a guts, which is fine. Well, I mean, I understand he's an older gentleman now, so whatever. But it's like, Logan, I don't know. It's because, especially if it's the in-between between him, because Wolverine, he got it on him still. He's fucking, he knows, like, he's fucking still, like, I wouldn't say it at his peak, but like, he still is relatively fucking invincible. So it's like, I just can't see. Maybe if they dye his hair, maybe if they really like go all in to make him look younger, but I think it would really like turn some wires loose in my head if I saw him with a beard, like a big gray beard, being like obviously wrinkles and stuff like that. Because that's just what happens when you age. I don't know. It's such a weird conversation to have.
I mean, Hugh Jackman, luckily, still looks really good for his age.
No, of course, he's got the fountain of youth. He's just naturally.
He's like Paul Rudd, where he like just doesn't age.
Yeah,
but
and, like when you keep that body for that long, like obviously you're going to still keep like just keep it. I mean, you've had that standing weight for so long, but I don't know, man. I don't know what it's gonna look like. I don't know what Deadpool 3 holds for us, but I just pray to God, man, because this story is because I was talking to Smoke about it. Exactly. Like, I'm not going to like go crazy saying, "Oh, it's better than Tony Stark's story," but like in terms of the fact that the spotlight was on him the entire movie, and he carried that, he relished in the spotlight of ending his own character. Where it's like there's a lot of moving parts in Endgame. No one's gonna say that there isn't. It's like there's a lot of send off, a lot of fan service, a lot of this, a lot of that. But this movie's just Logan. The name of the movie's fucking Logan. He's probably in it, probably 80% of the movie, if not more. It's like there's so much about this character that's being unraveled. I don't know if you can just put that genie back in the bottle and try to be like, all right, Wolverine here's back, guys. He just got gruesomely murdered and had one of the most touching, tragic, and just tear-jerking superhero like movies. Like, I mean, obviously it's a drama and that kind of stuff, but like for the superhero genre, it's like this is unseen levels of like the entire movie just being glim and just being just depressing.
Yeah.
But that's my 2 cents on it. I'd give it like I said, I'd give it a 4 just because I like seeing characters know when to stop. I mean, with a asterisk on that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll piggyback off of what you were saying a little bit. I will give it a 3. I agree with Hag. I feel like with him coming back, I think, and it's more so a commentary about that movie. It's in this unfortunate situation where the movie almost has to justify its own existence because of the fact that Logan ends so well. It's like,
why do we need him back?
Story has to be worth telling. That's what I say. Because if it's good, then I'm fucking all about it. You know, like, yeah, I'll always take more Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I'm never gonna say I won't. But if he comes back and it's just him doing a comedy scene for an hour and a half, I mean, we don't need that. We don't. So
yeah, if it's done in the aspect of something similar of Toby coming back, because he said I'm done. He said I'm not coming back.
There was
and then
a story for them to tell with Toby. That made perfect sense, and that's why
exactly. If it's done like that, then I have no issues with him coming back at all.
Absolutely.
I'm just concerned. I think my biggest what if for it is the tone switch over the overall seriousness of the Deadpool movies now throwing Logan into it. Because I mean, no one's gonna tell you those movies aren't serious. Like there's no point in the movie where you ever think anything's gonna happen to him.
However, they know that, and they know that Logan is a serious character, and I think that they're going to play into that fact that Deadpool's not and Logan is.
Yeah, no, like I said, I am super hopeful. I am by no means wishing for the downfall of this movie. I'm just super skeptical. I mean,
understandable.
Like obviously, like you said, Kevin Feige's lazy if he's hands off with this one, but like Marvel's what they've been putting out, man. I can't. I can't get it out of my head.
We'll see next month. Hopefully, it's a little different. We do got Ant-Man coming up in a month.
I haven't been sleeping, everybody. I want to let everyone know this is my mental health check. I'm not doing all right. Marvel's not good. I'm fucking around, but yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Hopefully, Ant-Man's good. I'm hyped. I'm actually hyped for that movie.
Yeah, very, very hyped for that movie.
I'm scared. I'm scared for what because like I can just see what they could do to his character, and I'm just nervous.
But like you said, we'll get into that another time.
Mm-hmm.
But DL, would you like to start off with rewatchability?
So this one I have a 4, but with an asterisk for the same reasons I had the other one for what I had on what the hell was it? Originality. Where, I mean, right now it's a 4 rewatchability. I don't think I'd ever like not want to watch this. I mean, see,
so. I get where you're going with this.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's like it's a fucking tragic movie, so like I don't know if I'd want to put myself through that.
Yeah.
That often.
So I gave it a 4 as well because of the fact that there's very few superhero movies that I can consider perfect, and I get that this is a satire tone. This is a little upsetting and tear jerking. However, if I'm in the mood to watch a really good superhero movie, it is on the short list of I can put this on and know that I'll enjoy it.
True.
100% agree with that. I think if you're in the mood to watch this movie, its rewatchability is a 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so, I keep it at a 4 too. It's next. No, I agree. Yeah.
Smoke. I don't know if what yours was.
I would say 4 too. It's just that if you're ready to watch, if you want to watch a good movie and you're ready to commit yourself to it,
watch it.
It's as good.
It's not even that long too. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes or something like that. Definitely.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it at all.
It's not.
Exactly. It moves.
The pacing is perfect.
Yeah, it moves.
And then finishing us off, cinematography. It's a 4. This movie is beautiful. The shots are beautiful. The CGI is surprisingly really good. There's not really any shot that you're looking at and you're like, Like the CGI is good. The shots are good. The camera's beautiful. I have no complaints about it.
I think I'd give it a 3 just because I think a 4, like every shot, like the shots don't have the same purpose as a 4 would have. I don't even know how to really describe besides that because I agree with you, right? Like we're in that territory again where I want to give it a 3.5, but I'm not. I'm not doing it. That opens up the floodgates. I'm not doing it. So I'd give it a 3 just because when I think of a 4, it's just like there are very few movies I've given a 4 cinematography. Like that's like some Dune level, like something like every shot has been curated, it's been selected, it's been looked over by like 100 people to make sure that shit is fucking perfect. Like I don't know. I think I'm teetering between 3 and 4 certainly, but that's just my thinking about it.
Okay. Smoke?
I'd say 3 for the same reasons that DL was getting into. It's like the shots are never the point of this movie. Like there's never like they're not jerking off about what a great shot they have because the whole movie is supposed to be very like down.
It's gritty. It's like
it's very grayscale. Like they're in a desert. They're in.
Well, they literally have a grayscale version of this movie,
right? And the most color they have is when they're in the forest at the end. Even that's like a dark green. Like there's never like vibrance to this movie, and rightfully so because it would take away from.
I was saying, that's part of the reason why I'm giving it a 4 is because the cinematography, the coloring, the background, everything adds to the movie. Exactly.
That I can't agree with, and that's why it's hard. And I would definitely do a 3.5 if I could, because the cinematography in a vacuum is nothing special, but it fits the movie
perfect.
Right. It's catered to the movie.
Yeah, but then adding up our totals before we get into probably another fucking long ass segment, that puts Logan for me as I think like the second highest rated movie we've covered at a 19 out of 20.
Yep, 19 out of 20 for me as well. Last time I had a movie that high was Incredibles, which I gave a 20 out of 20. And the other Hugh Jackman movie, Prisoners, which I gave a 19 out of 20.
Smoke?
Yeah, I think mine, what was mine? 19 out of 20 is.
Yeah. I think you had 1-3.
Yeah, I had 1-3 as well for the cinema.
Yeah, you would have, so we're all 19 out of 20s across the board. Final thoughts on this movie. Phenomenal. If you have not seen it and you've seen other X-Men movies, watch it. Honestly, even if you haven't seen any X-Men movies, watch it. You would still get a great enjoyment from it.
Absolutely. You don't even have to be into superhero or comic book movies to watch this movie because it's so much more of a drama than it is. Like,
it's a character study more than an actual superhero.
If you are a person that likes movies and especially satire movies, watch this.
Yeah, it's worth a watch. Absolutely. If you haven't gotten that by now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my 2 cents on it is probably don't watch it if you're too young because it's pretty horrifying. You could definitely like leave scars because it's a sad movie. Like it does a lot. There's a lot of emotions flying in that movie. The gore is fucking insane, which I mean nowadays I don't really think it matters anymore. I think gore kind of is just it's like language where people just curse and swear and it's like just kind of look the other way. But I mean, maybe you can watch it with a parent if you'd like. Like there's nothing like there's no like super inappropriate sex scenes or some super awkward scenes where it's like you're kind of just like where it's like it's super nothing like that. But I mean, if you had to watch at least one movie before this, I'd probably watch like the Wolverine or maybe X-Men Origins or something like Wolverine. Even though that movie, I think that movie's overhated. I actually kind of like that movie for some reason, X-Men Origins Wolverine. So
next time you come to Boston, we gotta watch the fucking shitty unfinished CGI version.
I'm not having that movie ruined for me because I actually really like that movie. I mean, obviously what they did to
Deadpool.
Yeah, but I mean, in a vacuum, before Deadpool came out in like live action, I liked Victor. I really liked how that movie went.
I mean, it's still ass, but
yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's great. It's definitely not good.
Besides the point, I think it's time we finally dive into our top 10 albums of 2022.
Yeah.
Before we get to ours, we do have some submissions of your guys. Now we did get a lot of submissions, so reading all of the top 10s would be a lot, and it's a lot to talk about, and it's a lot of words. So we're gonna just do the top 5s for those of you that did submit, just because a lot of you did. So first off, B sent his separately to me because he didn't get time to collect all his thoughts before the story came down.
B2.
Mm-hmm. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So B's in this order, starting from number 5, he had "It's Almost Dry" by Pusha T. Number 4, he had "I Never Liked You" by Future. 3, "Melt My Eyes, See Your Future" by Denzel. Heroes and Villains by Metro Boomin, and then Dawn FM by The Weeknd, which I'm not going to even list any or comment on any of these because all of the ones that B's listed are somewhere in my top 10, so I will talk about those when I get to it. But I do have to say, B, even looking at the rest of your list, you have a very good top 10 list. I'm trying to
pull this crap up right now. It's fucking sucking me as usual. What else?
It's fucking Instagram. Instagram is fucking ass.
Zuck the Cook.
Yeah.
We're about to get taken off YouTube for that. I mean, off Instagram. All right. Okay. So, all right. So we asked you guys top 5 or top 10 albums of 2022. Just trying to gauge and see like what some of the hits were for the year. See what everyone else is thinking. So, this guy like DY Labasa said. This guy DY Labasa said "Rough Gangbang" by Balls. I don't know why the fuck. I don't know the reason behind that. Even though I'm the one who said it. I can't even open this one up, so I'm gonna have to get real close. Get my old specs on.
Jesus.
Isabel gave us her top 10 albums. She had The Forever Story by J.I.D., Stick Season by Noah Khan, Kendrick's album at 8, Asphalt Meadows at 7, It's Almost Dry at 6, 5 Seconds Flat at 5, Heroes and Villains at 4, very nice. This new SZA album, SOS at 3, Dawn FM at 2, and Harry's House at 1.
Again, all of those albums, all the ones that I've listened to, because there are some that I honestly just never listened to. But I all of those are fantastic albums. I can't really deny those being on her top 10. Yeah.
Then Olivia had Taylor Swift's album Midnights at 4. She had Noah Cyrus, The Hardest Part by Noah Cyrus. I didn't even know she dropped an album this year. Interesting. At number 3, SZA's album at number 2, and then Harry's House once again at number 1.
Harry.
Mr. The Kid, Arrows. Mr. RP24, not to be confused with Chet Stable, said his top 5 are I Know Nego by Nego, Never Liked You by Future, It's Almost Dry at 3 by Pusha T, Dawn FM at 2, Heroes and Villains at 1. Once again, we're going to get into all these.
Yeah, we'll get into every single one of those.
Yeah, but that's the list from that we got on there. So anyone who sent in theirs, good looks. I wish we could do more. I wish we could break down each and every one, but maybe next year we'll do top 5. Might be a little easier to actually like have like a more
break, or maybe next year we'll just do a whole episode just to this, because honestly, I know us, and I know we could talk about these for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
But you boys got yours pulled up?
I do.
Of course.
All right.
Locked and loaded.
I'll go first with my number 10. We'll do it all 3 of our number 10, all 3 of our number 9s, etc. So, for me, at number 10, I have I Know Nego.
Did you want to share the PowerPoint or it wasn't
the
working?
PowerPoint doesn't work, remember?
Yeah. Google Slides.
I could share my list, but it's literally on my phone. So, for me, number 10, I Know Nego. This is the first collaboration album that you will see on this list. I think it's phenomenal. The single Heavy with Uzi. I need Uzi on more drill beats. That's what that showed me. Clips coming back together for the first time this year. What else is on this? You have the paper plates with Pharrell and Ferg. And honestly, the whole album has just hits. The only downside to it is that Pop Smoke song is alive. But, that's besides the point.
He's with us.
But I don't know what you boys have for your number 10s.
I got The Forever Story by J.I.D., but my favorite song being Crack Sandwich. So it is a little high up.
Why is it so low?
So it is really low now I'm looking at it. So I'm going to give a disclaimer at the beginning of this. Albums are really tough to rank. I think albums, to me personally, are easier to rank by vibes because something like, I'll get into it when I get there, but there are songs that I'm putting on in different situations. And like, I love The Forever Story. I love J.I.D.'s fast rapping. I think he's super fucking talented. And I love all that stuff that comes with it. But like, there are other albums that I'm putting on in lieu of that album. Like if I'm if I'm putting that on like at a party, because obviously like the whole like fast nature of it, or just like some of them are more lean back tracks. I just have albums that I go to more. That's all it is. I still love this album.
I have one thing to say to you: surround sound.
Yeah,
Surrounds.
That song is goated.
Yeah, no, I love a lot of songs on that album. It's so great. Like I said, I can't speak enough good things about JID, and he was really good on that like called Dreamville album. I mean, that's what really put me on to him. Fabulous. But yeah, like I said, it's difficult ranking these things.
Right.
Yeah. Smoke.
Well, I'm gonna lead off with that disclaimer as well, because I was looking at the albums and I was like, "Fuck, man."
It's difficult, especially when you start getting really close. Like, fuck.
Right. I mean, like I copped out and I had a few honorable mentions. Like I had Post Malone as an honorable mention. I had The Forever Story as an honorable mention. I had Nego as an honorable. Like it was so hard, fucking putting this shit in.
There were a lot of good albums this year.
Exactly, and like the only reason that I put the other ones higher is just because I listen to them more. It's not that they're like bad. Like The Forever Story is not worse than anything that I have on my top 10. It's just I don't listen to it as much as these.
Yep.
That's the
understand.
Exactly.
My number 10 is Her Loss. Because like
Okay.
it's just like I feel like 21 has been saturated a little bit. And I was saying this to DL earlier. It's like I feel like if you go back in time and erase this album from existence, I feel like my music doesn't suffer. Like I feel like I'm just not like slapping this every single day, multiple times a day. Like there's some good songs, and like the highs of this album are fucking phenomenal. I will say,
but the lows are also really bad.
Exactly, and that's why it's where it is here.
Well, that's why I also have Her Loss as my number 9.
Nice transition.
Yeah, because for all the things you said, this album hits. I'm not gonna lie. I bump Rich Flex, Broke Boys, More M's, Pussy a Millions. I bump those shits every day because they hit every day. However, I'm not going to listen to 3 a.m. on Glenwood or fucking, what was Backstreet, whatever the fuck that single Drake song is. It's like, I'm not going to listen to those.
Right.
No offense to them, but I don't want that type of Drake. And I don't know what the fuck 21's doing on 3 a.m. on Glenwood, but it is not his style.
No, not even a little bit.
But the songs that do hit on this, they fucking hit.
Right.
And they have that Jimmy Crooks type of energy that I need.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for my number 9, I have Her Loss as well.
Yeah. For number 9, I have Kendrick's album, and it's tough. I wish I could put it lower, but like I just never found myself coming back to this album, and I still have to give it the respect it deserves by putting it on the top 10. But there's like 3 songs that I listen to a lot. What is it? Not even in your top 10?
Nope.
Yeah.
This,
I gotta give it because it
might be my least favorite Kendrick album. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like it's a shame too because I fucking I love Kendrick and all of his like he is the most timeless album selection. I think
Butterfly, Good Kid, Mad City, like
yeah, like you just say that 3 and even
Section
Damn,
80.
yeah, no, Section, yes, that was the one I was going to say. Like even taking Damn out of there and putting those 3, it's just like nostalgia. It's just like it's just so relevant. Everything he raps on compared, like it's crazy how we go from something like Her Loss that's so substanceless and just so made for hit makers, and then you have even Mr. Like I think the problem with Mr. Morale and the Big Stepper is, my opinion personally, it just got too much interludes. It's got too much talking in between the songs, and it's great. But like I'm here to listen to music. Like if it was like more of like an audiobook kind of thing, I don't really know how that would work. I don't know. I just found myself like skipping the tracks before they ended a lot, like kind of getting on a song and be like, I'm not feeling this right now. Like it's very, there's a lot of political moving. There's a lot of moving parts in this album. And sometimes I just want to put on music and just relax.
Yeah.
Is what I'll say.
Yeah. So for me, the reason I didn't put it in the top 10 is because I don't see myself going back to this. I go back and I listen to N95 and that's about it.
Yeah. No, it's got certain ones like there was a couple other ones too. Let me pull this up real quick.
It's a shame because Kendrick is the GOAT, but this album was not worth the 5 or 6 year wait that we had from Damn.
Also that I think that's a big part we need to emphasize also is that, I mean, for the most part, unless it's like the most surefire product, hype just never equates to anything good.
No, which is why I'm scared for
an album. Yeah. But I mean, it's got some great songs like Die Hard, N95, Father Time, Silent Hill, Savior, Mirror. There's amazing songs, and I really like he's got some good features here and there, and by himself he's great too. But yeah, I agree. I don't see myself Like I don't see myself going on Spotify and being like, all right, let me put on this album first. Like it's something that just comes up in my shuffle.
Yeah.
Right.
Smoke your
I
number
actually
9.
have it as 9. Kendrick's
You have
album.
what?
Mhm.
Oh, Kendrick album as well. Okay.
Guys, yeah, it's just I feel like the re-listenability is just not there. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. It's just like it's more of an artistic piece than it is music. Like if you're like I don't know, if you want to get really invested into like the story that he's telling, it's definitely there and it's definitely very like the alpha. There's a lot of substance here. It's just like sometimes I just want to listen, like put on music and drive to work or something like that. Like I'm not always sit there and get invested into the story that you're trying to. I'm just not, and maybe that makes me like I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I just don't want to get invested like that. So I put it at 9 because, like you said, it has some bangers there, but it's not. I don't listen to it any more than the albums above it.
Yeah.
So then I guess going on to number 8, which is for me, this is someone I was actually recently put onto this year. I have Soul Sold Separately by Mr. Freddie Gibbs.
There you go.
This album is fucking fire.
There you go, man. Freddie's that guy.
What is it? It's fucking what's the song with Pusha? I just sent it this morning too.
Golden Rings or something.
Yeah, Golden Rings, thank you. Golden Rings, fucking Too Much with Moneybag, yo.
Bro, they both
fucking this album.
That shit's hard, man.
This album has bangers after bangers after bangers, and if you have not listened to it, or if you have not listened to Freddie Gibbs, this is like I said, I was recently put on this year to Freddie Gibbs as well as another person, which we'll get to later in the list. But this album is great. Also, Freddie's voice is so satisfying.
Yes,
it deserves a spot in the top 10.
Yeah. It's a good example. I mean, I have an honorable mention just because I've recently listened to it like in the last week or so I didn't even want to try to crack it into my top 10 this late in the game. Great ass album though, but I think it's a good example of how to do a story like whatever that like hotel or whatever he was talking about. It wasn't as obtrusive as something like Kendrick's album was. Obviously the same, like I'm not trying to compare the two, like just the substance of one over the other, but like it was a lot more natural flowing.
Yeah. DL, you're number 8?
My number 8 is Her Loss. And it really does pain me putting this over Kendrick's album for literally me just dissing it before by saying that it's got no substance. But like its hits, Pussy in Millions alone is enough to put it over Kendrick's album for me, period. So
fair.
That's kind of where I'm at.
That's fair.
Smoke?
I got Soul Sold separately at 8 too. I think
yes.
Dude, it's just like that shit is so like it's slick, man. That's like, and I've read times throughout this thing, but it's like Freddie is just like you said, his voice, his like enunciation. It's like it's just good rapping, man. That's what
like you said on New Year's. Freddie Gibbs is the baby if the baby had talent.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like you're listening to it and you're just like, damn, this shit's nice. Like it's just one of those.
To me, it's like he's like some of a blend between the baby and like Chef G and Sleepy Hollow, like where they have that enunciation. Like they got some hard bars, not like some like the shit Drake does, reusing the same shits over and over again. Like when you hear their songs, like when he says something with his deep ass voice, and like at the end of it, it's like, damn, like, that shit goes hard, kind of thing. Where it's like you'll be driving and it's just like the actual like non like
what the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like the non like overplayed shit where people like freak out when they're like jumping around. Shit. Like when I'm hearing, I'm like, damn, and it's just. He just puts a lot of pride into his album. I've been really getting onto some of his older albums too. He just puts a lot of like effort into his stuff, and I think that's a lot more you can say than a lot of people nowadays, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But then I guess going on to number 7, this was a surprise one for me because at first I didn't really like the album, and then I listened to it more throughout the year. I Never Liked You by Future. First off, it's the king of misogyny, Future himself.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, you have, which was probably my song of the year with, what the fuck is that called?
Keep It Burning.
Keep It Burning, thank you. I had like 7 songs float through my head right there. Keep It Burning, which is fantastic. He's got fucking the shit with Dirk, which is fucking fantastic. Wait For You, fucking I'm On One, Chickens with ESTG, who ESTG also
Chickens.
You don't fuck with
Not
chicken?
chicken.
You don't fuck
I
with
hate
chicken?
repetitive hook. I hate repetitive hooks in songs. I can't stand
What?
them.
So
I
do you not like
cannot stand
misogyny
them.
either?
No.
Misogyny?
Oh
It
god,
sounds like you
no.
say misogyny the whole time.
I'm not getting roped into that corner. I'm media trained. I will not speculate. All right, I will not speculate on what you're asking of me.
But
But
anyways,
I
I did not think Future would slide into my top 10, but the more I listened to this album, the more I realized this shit fucking slaps.
yeah, agreed.
Deal. You're number 7?
So my number 7 is it's Post Malone's album, and I was actually surprised it was even in my top 10 because like there was a couple songs that I had. So I think it's really good songs carry the entire album. I mean, I guess you could like it's kind of well, whatever. I like the songs that I actually there were definitely some songs. Lemon Tree I fucking despise. I hate that song with literally my my stomach turns when I hear him doing that country accent in Lemon Tree. So, a lot of people fucked with it. I didn't. I think it was horrifying. But like
no, I skipped that song.
It's hideous. This album is more into the niche of relaxing albums. This is why I was saying it's difficult to rank these things because you have stuff like Wasting Angels with Kid Laroi, Reputation, Wrapped Around Your Fingers a little bit more high, a little more upbeat, good ass party song.
I like you.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's got. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, just some really vibey songs on there. It's like I'm not pulling up somewhere blasting this shit. Like, I'm not freaking letting the whole freaking neighborhood know I'm listening to this, like, kind of thing. But
I
it's
also
just
know
nice.
that
It's
you're not a big fan of the Roddy song on here. Even though I personally really like that song.
Cooped Up. No, I don't like the Cooped Up. I don't like Cooped Up.
Yeah, I know you're not a big fan of it, but I do want to.
I've also just fallen. It was also like a tragedy, like a Shakespearean poem on how much like me falling out of love with Roddy. It was so tragic.
Yeah, that man is washed now. But Smoke, you're number 7?
Yeah.
So me and Hag, we're on a roll right now because I also got Never Liked You by Future as my
damn,
number
what
7.
the fuck? What
no,
the fuck?
dude, and it's crazy. I literally, like, I'm not even joking. Like, I have it literally on the list exactly there.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, because I was literally bumping, like, some of the songs from this earlier because I was trying to figure out where I wanted to put it. And I was like, this shit is fucking kind of nice, honestly. And, like, Puffin' on Zooties, that is a creeping song. Like, I was creeping to that the other day. Yeah, bro, I was creeping to that the other day. Creeping. Like, when you recognize that you're creeping to a song, that fucking gives it some value to me. And I'm like,
of course.
Is fucking tough. Like, it's just like, I mean, obviously there's its misses, but like Future for the most part delivers. And
this is one of his best albums, in my opinion.
Yeah, I really like this album, and it's like it has a ton of replay value because you have like the bangers, and then you have like the creeping music or just the vibe music. Like it kind of
you stuff like Wait For You, and then you have also I'm On One, like the two big drastic sides of Drake, and they're done perfectly.
Right. And it's I definitely like this album a lot. So I was like surprised, and I had to put it on here somewhere, and I just listened to it more than the other ones. So I'm like, I'll put it on there, and that seemed like a good spot. Yeah. Egg happened to agree.
Yeah. But then going on to number 6. So for me, these next 6 albums are my definition of perfect. I've listened to these albums front to back numerous times this year, and will continue to listen to these albums front to back. Like, these are the types of albums I would get CDs and vinyls for because they're so good. Which is surprising to say that I have 6 albums this year that are like that. But for me, my number 6, which is very upsetting that you had it so low, is The Forever Story by JID.
It's tough, man.
It is.
Don't be crucifying me. It's tough.
This album is better than his first one. It's better than DiCaprio than any of the DiCaprios, I think.
Debatable. But yeah, and I agree. Like it's same quality at the very least.
Yeah, at the very least. But just Stars with I'm not even going to try to pronounce the feature because it's very hard to. But Stars is phenomenal. Like I said earlier, Surround Sound with 21 is a banger of a song. It's one of the top 10 like songs of the year.
It's got some bangers on there for sure.
And I could go on and on about it. I don't want to talk anybody's ear off, but JID, because I'm going to be doing it later. But JID's album is phenomenal front to back. If you have not listened to it, listen to it.
Definitely. For my number 6, you guys already talked about it, and I Never Liked You. I have it a little bit lower, just because "Wait for You" is my designated lean back song of the entire year. Literally, it's on my lean back playlist, and that's for the first like 4 months of that album coming out, that was like my definitive. Like, I'm going to sleep, I'm putting the song on. Period. Like that kind of.
I mean, yeah,
business.
it was cooked into your fucking stats.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Drake's just talking on that song. He's speaking nice, and I don't. Then usually like common era Drake don't be moving like that anymore, in my opinion. But like you kind of get that if you're reading this. It's
every once in a while
like,
you get that kind of
Drake. You get that old kind of like him just chatting, like
I
not
sent
Views, the one that came before.
I sent it to Smoke earlier. I sent it to Smoke yesterday. Drake was supposed to be on Trance.
It's tough.
And he was spitting. I'll send it to you after we're done with this.
Okay, I have to hear it because
you definitely
he was sliding.
Because I can understand like skeptical, but you just have to hear it.
I'm not like I'm not mad that they cut him, but I'm also mad that they cut him. If that makes sense.
Ever since Bubbly, I have a asterisk.
No, fuck that. It's nothing like
even
Bubbly.
in the same ballpark as Bubbly. I promise you.
Okay.
Not that that's a high bar to cross, but it's not.
Yeah. But then Smoke, you're number 6.
So again, like with my prefaces at the beginning, these last 6 albums, man, it was fucking hard to.
I had the same issue, man. Trust me.
Like I was just sitting there, and I was still moving them around right before the Staincast. Like I was downstairs feasting, and I was moving shit around again, and it's so close. Specifically 5 and 6, but for 6, I had 2000 by Joey.
Okay, so here's another one that I don't have on here.
I fucking love this album, though, man.
So let me start a preface. Let me state a preference. I have never been into Joey like that.
Okay.
I've only recently got into Joey the past 2 years. So for me, this album didn't really hit as hard. I'm not saying it's bad, and it's definitely honorable mention, but it doesn't hit me as hard.
Live reaction. No, that's fine. Each their own. I mean, music is even more subjective than movies, in my opinion. Like, it's even more. Like, it's crazy the 2 different reactions you get, and I can understand it. Absolutely. It's not Joey's best album. Probably not top 2, probably not top 3.
It's ridiculous, like how different like my taste of music is to Jacob's taste of music when we're so close in age, raised together. Like,
it's just music hits differently for everybody, man. It's just
absolutely.
But
yeah.
So I guess
what was I on? I was on number.
No, I'm on 5.
You were up. Yeah, sorry.
On 5.
So number 5. And it hurts putting it this low. But these next 5 were so hard to rank.
I want to see if we have any more close, Egg, because I feel like it's coming.
Melt My Eyes, See Your Future is number 5.
Damn. Okay. We got it switched up a little bit, but
so.
Well, the top 5, I can't be mad because there was a second there where I was about to take my headphones off and leave, but it's all right. It's top 5.
It's top 5, and it's fantastic. Yeah. And this is one of Denzel's favorite albums, and I think that the Soul Blooded version adds to it much.
Yes.
And I know DL, you specifically have that version like in there on your list.
Yes.
So Denzel is beautiful. Walkin', X-Wing, fucking whatever that song is with fucking
the entire album.
I mean, yeah, literally the entire album. He's got. He also has a song with Doja Cat on here, doesn't he?
I think so. I don't know. I that's not one.
Remember the name of it. I got. So, I'm looking at my list, and I got so many songs flying through my brain right now.
Yeah,
but this album is, like I said, these next albums are all front to back masterpieces, beautiful, and I personally think this is my favorite Denzel album.
It's so good. DL, I'll get into that later.
DL, your number 5?
My number 5 is 2000 by Joseph.
Nice.
It's the Joey Badass. And the reason why it isn't anything higher is, like I said, I think I like 1999
All American Badass.
All American Badass, probably even before the money. Yeah. All American Badass is my favorite Joey album. Then I think it was 1999, then probably Before the Money, honestly, because that shit is before the dollar, whatever the hell you want to call it. Because that album also has some really sneaky hits on there. 2000 might be tied for 3, honestly. But I mean, it has, don't get me wrong, like it's still a fantastic album. Joey's sound is just, it doesn't change. And that's not in a bad way. Like, it's just like, you know what you get when you're listening to it, Joseph.
Exactly.
He's very consistent across the board. Like, all of his albums to me are like within very, very slim margins when you're comparing.
I will say though, Revenge is still one of the songs of the year.
It's so good.
Yeah, no, it's fucking amazing.
Like, I know I said I don't have this album on there, but Revenge, Oh, well, I think Revenge was even just a single.
It was.
Wasn't
It
it?
was
Yeah.
dropped like a week before the album.
Revenge is still one of the my top 10 songs of the year, just because that song is masterful.
Yep.
The Smoke, your number 5? Oh, sorry. I did.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, obviously, brand new 9/11. No further explanation needed. That song's fucking cold.
Off the line.
We got Zip. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just so fucking good. Make Me Feel, Zip Codes, half the fucking album, Head High, Survivor's Guild. Like, it's also in the same boat as Kendrick's for me, where there is a lot of dialogue at the end of a lot of these songs. I find myself skipping them after I've heard the song album enough times. I know what's gonna happen. Like, the experience of listening to it the first time is obviously always going to have that effect. Like, listening to all that, because like there's a lot of, same thing with Kendrick's, a lot of very like amazing stuff. Like, I'm not saying that like, oh, I don't want to hear this stuff. Like, it's just more, I'm listening to music. I'm not watching a movie. I'm not watching YouTube. Like, I want to hear the music. But when he is singing or when he is rapping or whatever, fabulous. A+. And also, my threshold is 5, by the way. My top 5 albums were the hardest part. 6 wasn't as difficult.
Yeah, mine was the top 6.
Yeah, mine was sure, because this is like, I kept talking up between 2000 and my 5 slot, which is Ramona Park Broke My Heart. It's, dude.
Oh, because that's my number 4. Oh.
So it's just like, I don't want to say I didn't like the album at first, but at first I was like, okay, it's good. But then I started listening to it again, and I'm like, this shit is fucking...
Vince was another one that Queel and Moist put me on this year.
Dude.
And my God, man, he is sliding on this joint.
Yeah, it was...
I gotta tap in.
Because I love Joey for all the reasons DL said. And like we were saying, it's like with Joey, like, you know what you get, and that's absolutely not a slight to Joey. Consistency is fucking hard.
Yeah.
But it's like...
Absolutely.
I think that was what separated, is that, like, I just feel like Vince's sound in this album is so good. And it's like, and their storytelling too. So it's like, it's just an intelligent album is probably how I describe it. But it's so, and it's
agreed. And I'll piggyback off of that, considering it's my number 4.
Exactly.
Like,
nice.
which leads me to believe that your number 4 is probably Melt My Eyes. But yeah. So for me, I gave this the edge over Denzel is because of how masterful it was with me being so new to Vince as well. Because like Lemonade or whatever that song with Lil Baby's called that I can't fucking remember. Or is that Lemonade? No, Lemonade's just him. But whatever. He's got the song with Lil Baby, which of course Lil Baby is always a great feature to have on an album. He doesn't miss on features. And just like you were saying, Smoke, the storytelling behind it, Vince's flow, the masterful beats behind everything. It's a beautiful album, and DL, I definitely highly recommend you tap in if you haven't.
I've listened to it before. It wasn't on my huge list of albums I wanted to re-listen to, just because there's so much fucking albums.
A lot came out this year.
Absolutely,
a lot.
Absolutely.
But your number 5, your number 4, DL.
My number 4 is "It's Almost Dry" by Pusha E. I wanted to put it a little bit higher up, but I just couldn't. Like, the top 3 was not moving. The order of them was changing, but not the like they weren't going anywhere.
They weren't moving from the 3.
Yeah. Yeah, like, obviously, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to Pusha T's albums. Like, his sound it's always next level. You have Kanye fucking got his paws all over that album, so, like, there's obviously that part of it, too. Dreaming of the Past, easy. Rock and Roll, fabulous.
Scrape It Off.
My one beef is Scrape It Off, Pusha T's part. I fucking hate it so much.
Really?
It gets me so tight.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Rhyming a bar with a bar with the exact same word just gets me so fucking tight. Like, it's just like, my boy. Like, it's not bad. I'm just hating right now. It's still my number 4 album of the year, but there's something about it. Like, I think it's more of just like when you're paying attention to it, because you can have that song in the background and it's fine. But it's like when I start like actually tuning in and I just hear him saying "my boy" like 40 times in a row, I'm like, all right, turn it off. I'm done. Please. But
fair.
Jay-Z and Pharrell song sounds nice too. But
Neck and Wrist.
Yeah,
it's nice. It's
Neck
fire.
and Wrist don't lie.
Yeah, that shit's.
Yeah, but that's my number 4. God bless Pusha T.
Smoke, I already guessed your number 4.
It seems like we're probably gonna all have the same like top 4, top 5. Mine's "Melt My Eyes, See Your Future." You guys kind of already got into it. It's just like, and I wasn't even really big into Denzel, but like once I listened to that album, I just couldn't really stop listening to it.
Yeah.
Even now, like I'm still putting on numerous songs each day whenever I'm breaking up my other top 3 albums and I want to like get like some hype shit going on. Denzel's, oh my god, is that album fucking phenomenal, man? And it's like I know that DL probably has it higher, so we can get into it a little bit. But it's like
DL's next one.
yeah, that's probably the next one. Like it seems like we're all kind of leading off into each other a little bit here, and
Yeah,
this was like neck and neck. Like it was so hard for me, and obviously, like it's not a spoiler. Like 3 would be it's almost right.
it's almost dry. So same for me.
Literally, it was so hard fucking doing those two like back to back because it's like they hit like the spot but differently.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
almost dry. This is just Pusha T like with
at his finest.
And you got Pharrell and Kanye producing that fucking album. Like,
yeah,
literally half of it's Pharrell, half of it's Kanye, which are the 2 best producers in the fucking game.
Right, and then you got a great all-time rapper in Pusha T.
Like, Metro slander.
Well, all right. Listen,
Metro
we'll get
slander.
We'll get to him.
I'm not having
Wait for it, God damn it!
Yeah.
So
it is phenomenal, man.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'll just add on. My 3 is almost dry. Like you just had smoke. We have this. We'll pause it in a minute here, but it's. I have no more to add to it. It's a great album, and it's perfect front to back.
Yeah, Dreaming of the Past. Something about that sample on Dreaming of the Past. Something about it.
Hey guys, Editing Steven here, and unfortunately at this point in the video we did lose DL's footage and audio, so there are some pauses that Smoke and I take where we're just not talking, which would be DL's input, which unfortunately we did lose. So hopefully you guys do find some enjoyment in what we did recover.
Incredible in this album.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, so good. And Pusha he's built to rap on any beat, but when you get nice beats behind him,
it makes it even better.
It's slick.
And then, of course, hold on, we didn't even mention fucking I Pray For You.
Oh my god.
That song is beautiful. Labyrinth. That is my certified tuck-in song of the year, is fucking that. I put that on whenever I just need to fucking lean back. Fuck.
My favorite song from that album, It's Almost Dry, actually fucking Diet Coke, the single that dropped beforehand. I don't know what it is, man. That song is fucking tough.
Ordered Diet Coke. That's a joke, right?
And I love the music video with Kanye just dancing around for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, literally just cause.
It's just a tough ass album, man. That's all I can say. Like I feel like.
But then DL, before we get into the final 2, what is your number? Well, we know your number 3, but if you'd like to talk about your number 3,
if you want to talk about it, I'll go.
even better.
It's a whole different song.
Completely different song. DL's getting so fucking heated right now. Mm-hmm. Love smooth transitions, and we'll get into that. Love that song. So, I guess now moving into the final 2, because me and Smoke already chatted about It's Always Dry.
For this, would you want to like talk about like because we know what
I was gonna say let's take the elephant out of the room. The top 2 albums is Dawn FM and Heroes and Villains. It's just going to be probably different than depending on who's got what first.
Right. But
So we'll talk about them both.
Yeah.
We're just because honestly, I still don't know. I spent a whole 8-hour shift listening to nothing but these two albums on repeat to try and figure out which one is better, and I can't. I, honest to God, can't. For all intents and purposes, I for all intents and purposes, I personally think Heroes and Villains is above Dawn FM. However, however, fuck that Gunna song. But besides the point, both of them are such perfect albums. This is the definition, the absolute living definition of perfect. There is nothing I would change about any of these albums, any of these songs on either of these albums. The transitions that you get between Best Friends to Is There Someone Else, fucking Take My Breath, and what a fucking whatever song comes before it. Yes, thank you. How do I make you love me?
Out of Time to Here We Go Again.
Oh,
dude, that's the part of the album, man.
I Heard You're Married. Fucking all of the masterpiece. And then going on the flip side, to Heroes and Villains, it starts off hard with On Time with a fucking fantastic Homelander sample.
Oh
you go straight from that into Superhero. Yeah, out of pocket. You go from On Time, beautiful transition into Superhero with Future and fucking Chris Brown. What the fuck? Then later in the album, you get another fantastic transition with Metro Spider into I Can't Save You. And then followed I Can't Save You straight into Creepin' and then Niagara Falls and then Walk 'Em Down. Creepin' being the literal song of the year. It is my definitive song of the year. I listen to that song all the time still.
Dude,
and I definitively thought that Dawn FM was going to be album of the year until fucking 2 weeks before the year ended, and Metro Boomin gave us this absolute fucking masterpiece. Those are my two senses on both of those albums. I'll let one of you boys take over.
I've just been waiting for that new car smell to wear off on Heroes and Villains, and it just fucking hasn't.
It doesn't.
I've been waiting to wake up one day and listen to it and be like, this isn't as first time I listened to it, but it's just
it
falling
off. It still is.
And it's just this is Metro at the peak of his powers, man. Oh my god, the beats, the samples, it's incredible. If you're listening to it and it's just everything is just
I wish I could have gotten my reaction filmed of me hearing Creepin' for the first time, because I literally started to cry.
Bro,
I'm not even joking. I literally started to cry.
Bro, when I first heard Trance, I remember I was literally sitting in my bed and I heard that shit. And I paused it and ran it back. This shit's bananas, man. It's just the fucking, oh my god. And it's just the way that he it's not like DJ Khaled bullshit where he just makes a beat and then fucking throws darts at a board and I'm gonna put Drake and on this. Right. I'm gonna put Drake and Justin Bieber on this song. It's not like that. It's these artists are made for these songs. Travis on.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah, but so for me, it could flip flop between either of those for album of the year, but I'll give my album of the year to Heroes and Villains.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I can't disagree.
Not yeah,
Finally.
that shit is. And
I'm
it's
not gonna
like the
lie.
we. I mean, I
21 I was gonna say 21 being first in that song has grown on me so much.
have it that way. That's what I
Hmm.
was. It's like that, like layout. Like I fuck with it way more when they switched it up.
They do. Except the Gunna
Absolutely,
song.
it's so fucking
And
tough.
then
I feel like the
the
weekend too is a premier fucking talent right now. Like, I mean, obviously, you said Creepin', he's on this album. His whole album, one or two, depending on who you ask. Like, the weekend is like everything he touches turns to gold, man. This guy doesn't make bad music. He's talentless, bro. This guy has no talent.
yeah.
Oh my god,
And he is the present.
he just no,
It- yeah.
got that.
But with that,
Jeez,
but with that, that is our 2022 top 10 albums of the year. Yeah, literally, yeah. So we got a nice long episode for you. Thank you guys if you've listened or watched this entire thing. We do appreciate it. Thank you, Smoke, for joining us. Of course,
happy.
always welcome. And as usual, don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. Go to that comment section, leave a like, follow us on Instagram at the Staincast, leave us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever this is. Share this link around, give us some follows. Go to our link merch shop in our Instagram bio, buy some of that merch, please. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for this Saturday, where we will be releasing the question of the week for what movie are we doing next week? The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing.
You guys are.
A nice new one for you.
I might have to double back. That is the premier horror movie, man. Oh my god.
Yeah. So I
Started
think
on
I think Queel might be joining us as well. So
Rob.
we'll have to see about that. But like I said, thank you guys for tuning in. We do appreciate you listening this long, and we'll see you guys next week for The Thing.